Hello, what's going on everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little evening stream for you guys where we're going to discuss all of the latest Manchester United transfer news and dealings at the football club. How are we all doing tonight, guys? Thank you for waiting patiently for us to get going. Couple of gash-tastic technical issues this evening, but we are hopefully on and hopefully everything's working okay and hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me, guys? Smash a 1 if you can hear me. Been having some issues with the old microphone audio stuff tonight. Gremlins in the system. But thank you everyone for waiting for us to get going. We've got Stay Gold in here. Boomy, what's going on? TC Boy, Uncaged Squid, Malps, how you doing? What's going on? Chili Scorpio, Chris Barker, Nicholas, IE, Rajat, what's going on? I'm kind of late, but I'm also kind of not late. You know what I mean? Like these stream times when I set them up, they're guide times. Do you know what I mean? They're guide times. If you don't know that by now, I'm sorry, but it's you that's the mug. You know what I'm saying? This is guide times for when we start, guys. If it says 10 p.m, you can sort of just appreciate that it's probably going to start at 7 past or even like 12 past like tonight. Really, you're early. Just saying that. Just really, you're the early one. Jamie Robinson, what's going on? Primot, how you doing there? Good to see you. And also Stay Gold, Danny, Uncaged Squid, Primot, get in there, Paul. Kingslayer, Rushmano. Thank you, Rush. He says we've got 37 likes on the stream. Great stuff. Everyone, do us a big favour at the start of this stream, right, guys? And smash that like button on it. Give us a massive thumbs up. That's awesome if you can. Give us a massive like. Share us around on social media. I have put the tweet at the top of the live chat as well. So please do give us a cheeky little retweet on the Twitter. And we'll shout you out later on in the show. That helps us to spread the word. But also, importantly, it's a fully interactive channel, this, guys. So get your thoughts and opinions in the show throughout this stream. We want to hear from you. That's right. We'll be dipping in and out the chat throughout the show. See what your legends are saying about everything we're talking about. It's not just me on here rambling, although it may seem like that for much of the video. We will be getting in and hearing all your thoughts and opinions, and we do have a big Q&A at the end of the stream. So stick around for that and strap yourselves in. Welcome in as well to the legend that is Sin Games. I hope you're doing well, bud. Primot, some big legends getting in here. Pal Marius, Marky Coughlin, Disco Dave. Come on, get in there, my son. Great stuff. Okay, so plenty to discuss, guys. Obviously, we did a show this afternoon as well, which was, fun. We're talking about the latest on the Rasmus Hojlund situation. I've got lots and lots to get into tonight, really. I mean, let's just kick it off with, I guess, the biggest news of the evening, which is loosely connected to Manchester United, loosely connected in the sense that it's a player that we probably should be going for. So let's talk about it. Slappy Kane, a.k.a. the man with Rodney Trotter's face. Here's the latest. So Fabrizio, just about 45 minutes or so ago, tweeting that Bayern's board are set to meet Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy to discuss Harry Kane deal. Meeting is scheduled on Friday as expected. Bayern are prepared to improve their bid after an €80 million offer plus add-ons was rejected 19 days or 15 days ago. PSG are keen only in case Bayern deal collapses. So as we discussed it many times now, PSG sniffing around the gaff. They're sniffing around lots of different players like Rasmus Hojlund, submitted a bid earlier on for 50 mil, probably will be rejected obviously because it's less than ours, and he wants to come to United. But they also have an interest there in Harry Kane, but surely if Harry Kane has anything about him, he would much rather go and play in the Bundesliga instead of the shithouse Farmers League. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see him rocking up in a tweed jacket in a combine harvester play at any time soon. I think he'll probably will go to Germany if there cannot be a deal done for Manchester United in the Premier League, which is looking ever increasingly unlikely. But it's a shame. They are looking to meet up tomorrow with Daniel Levy and co, and with Spurs in general, to discuss the Harry Kane deal. And they're expected to be going in there and tabling a new offer very, very soon. I mean, it's looking quite likely that they will be the team that wins out with Harry Kane, because obviously Daniel Levy's not really overly wanting him to stay in the Premier League and play for Manchester United. Here's another report from Konstantin Eckner that says that Bayern Munich want to meet Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy tomorrow to reach a breakthrough in their pursuit of Harry Kane. Meanwhile, they're also looking for a new goalkeeper. So we talked about David De Gea actually yesterday, but obviously, you know, they've got Neuer. And we got a super chat from Crazy Joe Devola. Thank you very much there, Crazy Joe. Let's get a sue in the chat there for Crazy Joe Devola. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. What's he got to say for himself, this guy? Thank you, Crazy Joe. He says, Pig, your prediction on top 4 this season in the Prem. Okay. Right. Honestly, I think it's going to be Liverpool 4th, Arsenal 3rd, United 2nd, and those cheating bastards, Manchester City in 1st place. Unless they get penalised and punished and have a points deduction or relegated, it'll probably be those cheating bastards City. They're just too strong at the moment. They've done the treble. I don't want to talk about them actually because they're pure scam. Scum. They really are, but they probably are going to win it. So I'm going to say Liverpool, Arsenal, then United, and unfortunately Manchester City. Manchester City winning the league. That's personally what I think. Just on Manchester City real quick, actually. Let me just have a little bit of a rant about Manchester City real quick. These cheating bastards. So look at this. I don't know if you've seen it, actually, people. Thank you for that super chat, by the way, Crazy Joe. But, you know, a couple of months ago, they had submitted an application to Manchester Council to essentially have... That's the wrong story I've just clicked there, guys. But either way, they're basically, they are trying to, you know, get a deal done for improvements in their stadium, right? And unfortunately, it's been approved. And what they're trying to do is like get extra seats, I believe, a sky bar, hotel, all this stuff going on, right? Which they have now been approved by Manchester Council, right? That's come out this evening from Man City. They themselves have reported that. And they're spending hundreds of millions. I think, is it 300 million pounds in terms of development that they are spending on their ground and, you know, this hotel and the sky bar and in the infrastructure of the stadium and the surrounding area again, further improvements for Manchester City in their stadium. I mean, they're a bunch of cheating bastards, aren't they? Goodness me, I can't stand them. After all that they've won, and they now they're actually seeing the fruits of their cheating as well by generating their own legit cash with competition wins and the like. But you know what? Let's just be honest and say this as well. Yes, they are cheats. Yes, they are absolute scum. But why is it that Manchester City are leading the charge for constant improvement all the time, and Manchester United are playing with it in a stadium with a pissing bloody roof? What's that all about? Like, the Glazers are absolute scum. Even if they buy Harry Kane this summer, even if they decide to stay and they lavish all these players on us, they are still massively underselling this football club, aren't they? They're doing this club dirty. The Glazer shithouses. So you can slag off City all that you want for their owners going out there and spending money that they shouldn't even have. But the fact is, we are actually left behind massively by our owners not having the ambition at all to match what those City scummers are doing in any capacity, really. We should have the state-of-the-art facilities. We should have the state-of-the-art sky bar with a bloody hotel and all this guff. We should have all of that going on. We should have the infrastructure in and around the ground. We should have the monstrous, awesome, state-of-the-art, up-to-date stadium and facilities. But we don't, because of the proper shithouse owners that we've got at this football club. So even though we've spent on Andre Onana and Mason Mount and a lot of these players this summer, we seemingly are continuing to do so with players like Rasmus Hojlund on the agenda, it doesn't change anything that our owners are absolute cancerous, parasitical, complete scumbags, turds in the toilet bowl of humanity at United. So we've obviously got to get rid of these guys and flush them away, but it's not happening overnight. Unfortunately, we still haven't heard anything about the owners coming in to replace them, Sheikh Jassim, etc. So it's just a shame anyway. Look, Man City reporting that they've had the application approved and they're going to be increasing capacity and also improving things in their stadium. Sky bar, hotel rooms, all this guff. But Manchester United's owners are a big reason why we are far behind them in those terms. It's not just about how much you spend on players. We do spend money on players. Last season, we spent a lot of money on players as well. But it is also down to what else you're doing for the football club. And unfortunately, those guys are pure scum when it comes to doing anything for this football club, guys. Oh, my goodness me. Very, very disappointed and disconcerted with that news. But we're not here to talk about Manchester City because they're just pure scum and they don't deserve our words. But in all fairness, it just goes to highlight how bad our owners are, really. Very poor owners that we actually currently have at this football club. Frustrating and just, they don't deserve us. They really don't. They really do not deserve us at all. So, anyway, let's get back onto the Harry Kane stuff. Sorry, just seeing as you mentioned that crazy Joe Davola, I wanted to just talk about that for a second because I did see that they had approved that. Mount says City are slowly building and will eventually overtake us. It's sad to say, but it will happen. Well, if we keep going in the same sort of direction we're going in, and they keep going in the same direction they are going in, unfortunately, what you've just said there, Malps, is probably right. We've got to start fighting fire with fire. We've got to keep up with the Joneses, and I'm not talking about Phil. I'm talking about keeping up with these Man City wankers. Unfortunately, they're the innovators. They're the ones that are spending and doing things big these days. And we're not. We're actually kind of a really poor-run football club because of the owners and the little minions that they've put in place to do their evil bidding for them. You know, i.e. keep the flow of cash for them, but not really have two arses given about the actual state of the football and the fan base and that kind of thing. So it's a big shame, but that's the reality. If we don't stop the rot soon and get proper owners in who care, these Glazers shithouses are going to finish United. So hashtag Glazers out in the live chat, guys. Get a hashtag Glazers out in the live chat. They're absolute scum. And they're not only the scum, but they're the worst type of scum. Like you just said there, Rashad. They're incompetent scum. They're the type of scum that can't even do a good job while they're here, you know, exploiting Manchester United. So, yeah, unfortunately, we are at the hands of these, at the mercy of these guys. Anyway, hopefully they're gone soon, and hopefully we can be talking about having new owners soon, and, you know, that would be lovely. But City doing bits, and we're not. Okay, so on the Harry Kane front of things, guys, we were talking about Harry Kane. Let's get stuck back into that then. So Bayern board set to meet Spurs tomorrow, and it's obviously looking quite likely that that'll be the case, that he probably will go to Bayern if there cannot be any agreement reached there with Man United and Spurs, which it doesn't look like there is at the moment. There's a small possibility, I guess, that we could be going in there maybe once there's an agreement in place with the German side, or perhaps towards the end of the transfer window, but very unlikely. And Ben Jacobs having his say here with an update and says that Bayern's third bid for Harry Kane is expected to be close to 100 million euros. A new round of talks with Daniel Levy incoming. Bayern are optimistic, even though they struggled to date to get a price out of Levy. Kane is open to the move, despite not yet telling Spurs categorically that he wants to leave. What is Harry Kane all about? What do you mean he's not told Spurs categorically he wants to leave? You know, I'm starting to think that maybe Tottenham and Harry Kane are a match made in absolute mediocre heaven. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is the matter with this guy? Come out in the media, do a shithouse Lewandowski. I know he's a hero at Spurs, but do a shithouse Lewandowski and say you don't want to play for Spurs ever again, you want to go play for Manchester United or something. Just do it, Kane. That's what we all want to hear from you. Or at least, you know, say you would like the idea of going to play over in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich, a great club that wins trophies. And I'm currently at a club that unfortunately has the only possibility of winning fake cups hosted by car manufacturers in the summer holidays. Nobody gives a shit about Tottenham and the fact that they obviously can't win trophies, and Kane should care. Kane should care. Kane should not want to be there anymore. Kane needs to show that ambition to get the hell out of there. It's a sinking ship. In fact, it's not even a sinking ship, is it, Spurs? It's a sunken ship. It's the bloody Titanic or something. It's already sunken. And if he's not careful, he's going to end up like the bloody submarine that went down following it. Harry Kane needs to jump off of that ship while he still can and resurface at a club that actually is not complete shite. That's what he needs to do. So, there you go, peeps. Obviously, Harry Kane is on the list for Manchester United. It's ridiculously unlikely we'll be going in for him. But it could happen, I suppose, towards the end of the window, or maybe when Bayern have reached an agreement. But let's talk about the money for a second there. So 100 million euros, maybe that could be the amount of money it takes to buy Kane, even if you're Bayern. So right now, the last we heard was that they had a bid for 80 million euros rejected, knocked back. Spurs were like, that's not enough cash for us. Even though, let's face it, that's pretty exceptional for a player who's got a face like a horse and only has a year left on his contract. So they were talking about spending big money on him already. I believe at this stage that probably the talks tomorrow will reach the point where Bayern are prepared to pay 90 million euros in total. 90 million euros. Maybe 90 million up front with a couple of cheeky little add-ons, I suppose, but 90 million euros. Maybe they will go to 100 million euros. That's crazy money, isn't it, for Harry Kane? But I guess that's sort of what he's worth. If you want to buy him at the moment and you want Spurs to do business, they need to sell him for what they want. But do they? Because let's be honest, if they don't sell him, they're going to be stuck with a player who might not sign a new contract, probably will not sign a new contract, and will be able to leave in a year's time for nothing. So I do believe that they are kind of in a hard place themselves, Spurs, where they've got to be realistic about this and try and sell this twat. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck with a guy and he's going to go for nothing in a year's time. So they've got to play ball. So in a way, that makes Spurs' negotiation stance a little bit weaker just because, Kane's contract runs out in a year. So, I don't know. We always see, guys, let's just ask the chat for a bit of fun. Where does Harry Kane end up at the end of this summer? Does he end up at Man United? Does he end up at Bayern Munich? Does he end up at PSG? Or does he stay in the scrap heap challenge that is Spurs? Let us know your thoughts. Mount says Spurs. Luton says fire up. Luton. Bayern. Saudi Arabia says Jeff Bezos. Bayern says Heath Edwards. Chelsea says Madhouse. He won't go to a London club, I don't think. Going to Germany, says Rajat. He'll stay, says Tontini. Josh Streeter thinks the same, that he'll stay as well. Yeah. Hey, Don Berber, what's going on, lad? I hope you're doing well today, mate. Get in there, you beauty. Spurs extended contract with loyalty bonus. Spurs, says Dell. Lindelof Sauna, says Massey. Bayern or Tottenham? Stays, says Primot. Okay, well, crikey. There's one of two things that happens if he stays. He either signs a new contract and shows the entire world that he is indeed a complete unambitious loser of a man who will never amount to anything, never win anything in terms of trophies. Obviously, he's still a big, high-profile footballer who scores a shitload of goals and gets paid a shitload of cash, but a loser nonetheless if he stays at those Spurs mugs. Or it means he's leaving in a year's time on a free, in which case maybe Man United could add him to our ranks in a year's time. Or Bayern will. Listen, Spurs won't want that. Spurs won't want that. Spurs won't want to lose him. Spurs have to sell him this summer. They don't want to do that. Unless Kane's going to sign a new contract and they don't lose their asset. Unless they're prepared to make him super duper 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 rich and sign his life away to go and be forever cursed to never lift in a damn trophy. Unless they're prepared to do that and sign him up to a new deal and Kane's prepared to do that, then they have to sell him as far as I'm concerned. They've got to get rid and cash in this summer. There's offers on the table from Bayern, already 80 million euros. They will go in for another increased offer over the coming days as well. And if they don't accept it, then they're crazy. I just hope the United have the bollocks about us after Harry Kane has done, after the deal for Harry Kane with Bayern Munich has been agreed, that Man United can go and try and get him. Because he would improve most of the teams, I think, in the world. And he would certainly improve us. And even if we're getting Hojlund, we could certainly do with Kane and Hojlund up there. It would be insanely awesome. So very unlikely, peeps. There you go. Harry Kane probably going to Bayern Munich. But I want to just, I want to pretend like we've actually got a chance of signing him. Because that's exactly who I want. Sing Game says they will sell, but it will be last minute deal in my opinion. They hold on to him for those first games. Yeah, probably right, bud. Probably right. You're probably looking at a scenario where it's towards the end of the window, where they realise that they have to sell and they're just trying to bide their time and squeeze as much cash out of these potential teams coming in to buy him as possible. And that includes Man United. We haven't even bothered yet because I think we know what it's like to deal with Levy and Spurs. We haven't even bothered trying. Plus, we haven't necessarily raised the funds and we've still got the Glazer shithouses in right now. It's known that we have to sell players in order to finance certain deals. So a report here that says that Manchester United have spoken to Sofia Amrabat's camp. The sales of Fred and Donny van der Beek are crucial for this transfer. That was what Fabrizio said earlier. So yeah, we spent 110 million on Andre Onana and Mount, and now we're trying to finance deals by selling certain players. So the same's going to have to be said of Harry Kane. So if we are going to go in for Kane, obviously it means getting rid of the human Slabby Maguire and various other players as well, at the football club. And just on them, I guess let's talk about some of these players that we could sell, obviously, because there is some news that's come out, i.e. in regards to Maguire, Harry Maguire. So West Ham, understandably, still have an interest in Harry Maguire. We know that they're interested in Scotty McTominay, right? And Sharmesh Chef from Sky Sports says that West Ham remain in talks with Manchester United over Harry Maguire. What are the talks that they're involved with? I don't know. Hey, Man United, do you think Harry Maguire would go back to his motherland, Easter Island? I don't know. Do you think Harry Maguire's head is larger than the Empire State Building? Don't know. What are these talks that they're entering into with Manchester United? But that's what Sharma Chef reports anyway, that there are obviously some talks taking place, and hopefully it's true. Hopefully we could see Slabby Maguire gone. He's a decent sort of a player for West Ham. But obviously the problem with him is he's he's just slow as hell. He's the anti-Usain Bolt, isn't he? He's the opposite. You know, he is so slow, and he's just very, very poor and cumbersome individual. So, yeah, it'd be nice to sell him, but obviously he's on £200,000 a week or so, which is absolutely ridiculous. And we have to try and sell him somehow, and it's very unlikely we're going to do that. I think what we have to start doing with I could just call him Harry Kane. What we need to start doing with Harry Maguire now is start being horrible, start being mean, start being ruthless. I want Ten Hag to say to the guys, hey, listen, guys, when you're in the hotel, yeah, go into the bathroom, all of you, in the middle of the night, sneak into Harry Maguire's room, get a bar of soap, put it in a hand flannel, pin him down with a sheet on each side of his bed, and whip him with the bars of soap in the hand flannel, like Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, my friends. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the sort of guy we've got at the football club at the moment. He's a proper Gomer. So if we could maybe get rid of him and like get the squad to start treating him like Private Pyle, guys, maybe, just maybe he'll realise he's better off going somewhere else. Okay, I'm not really, okay, but nobody likes bullying. I think Ten Hag should come in and give him a swirly in the toilet. That's what I think. Let's start making it uncomfortable for Harry Mags at United. How are we going to get rid of this guy otherwise? How are we going to get rid of him? You know? We need Ten Hag to go into his face every single day, do the old gunnery sergeant, whatever his name is, impression every single day and say, you know, you're a stain on your mother's mattress, Harry Maguire, lad, etc. You're a disgusting big head, lad, etc. You know, so let's start being mean to Harry Maguire. Otherwise, how the hell is he going to get the picture and the message that we don't want this guy? I'm just getting annoyed, man. You know, he wants to seemingly fight his way back into the side. It's not going to happen, guys. We don't want that. He's a full metal slabbit, this guy. And we need to get rid of him. So we just got to start being ruthless, I think. Ten Hag has to put him to one side and say, listen, mate, you're not wanted. You're not wanted, mate. You're like a fart in an astronaut suit around here, Slabs. Get out, mate. You're stinking up the gaff. Open a window as you leave as well, light a match. You know, this is what we kind of have to say to Harry. He's too long in the tooth at United as it already is. And he's got to go. So, I'm not advocating bullying, guys. I'm just saying slapping Maguire's on £200,000 a week. It's the least we could do is go and beat him up with some soaps and a towel. You know what I mean? To get rid of him. So, player sales need to be made for us to buy other players is what I'm saying. I guess maybe we could get Harry Kane if we sold Maguire, if we sold Martial, if we sold all of these players, guys, then just maybe we could get him. But it's so super unlikely, guys. There you go. Ah, dear. Anyway, so Harry Maguire's a heck of a nice guy, by the way. What a nice fellow. You know, he's a really nice guy. It's not his fault that he's absolutely shite at the game of football and he's the worst captain in United's history. Goodness me. So, really quite a shame what's happened with that whole scenario. But he's a West Ham player, isn't he, guys? He's a West Ham player. Exactly, Mike Jones. Proper soap and towel job. He's a soap and towel job, this guy. Oh, Ten Hag needs to pop him on a box and get him to eat a jelly donut while the rest of the team do press-ups. That's what he needs to do, just to make them angry. That's what he needs to do. Everybody needs to show anger towards this guy and get him out of the club right now, man. You know? Oh, Dean says he's a West Ham legend. Well, he's a West Ham legend in the making, lad. Come on. Anyway, it's not just him, obviously, that West Ham are interested in. They also want Scott McTominay, and Scott McTominay is maybe priced out the move at the moment as well. Maybe United asking for too much. We'll see. But they stand to cash in on Declan Rice and reinvest some of that in Scott McTominay. Let's hope an agreement can be reached soon. And lots of people saying that United are set to boost their transfer budget with several sales. Fred, Donny, Van der Beek. Oh, I said that like that was two different people, didn't I? Donny and Van der Beek. No, it's just Donny Van der Beek. Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, Dean Henderson and Eric Bailly all set to be sold. Look, that list sounds good to me. Get rid of all these hangers-on at the football club. We're better than that these days. We are genuinely better than that. We don't need them. Let's cash in. Hopefully that can generate a lot of the cash to go and get Harry Maguire. Yes or no? Do we go and try for Harry Maguire this summer, guys? Yes or no? It's a no from me, Carol. I don't see us doing it, but, you know, I can dream. If we sell all these guff players, then maybe. Arcadian, thanks for your comment. He says, big wages Martial has to go. Right, so just on Tony Martial. Did you see Ten Hag's comments the other day? He's another player that obviously we would like to sell. But did you hear Ten Hag's comments the other day about Tony Martial? Well, he said that he rates Tony Martial. He thinks he's a great player and he wants him to be back fit. And he wants him scoring goals in the side and all this sort of stuff, alluding to the fact that he would maybe be up for keeping the guy. Okay, then. Well, I think there is some basis to that, obviously. And I must say, I think it's just largely down to the fact that he is almost unsaleable. He's pretty much undeniable that you just can't really get rid of him. He's on 200k a week, an obscene amount of cash, and various outlets suggesting that United are considering keeping hold of Anthony Martial despite his poor injury record. Yeah, I don't really think it's despite his poor injury record. I think it's because of his poor injury record. I think we'd be keeping hold of him because of three reasons. Three main reasons. Lots of reasons, but three main reasons. One, he's an injury-prone melter. He's never fit to be able to pass a medical, and he's never fit enough that any other team might actually see him as a decent investment because they could buy him, and he just breaks into a million pieces. Secondly, he's an inconsistent sulker, and he sulks all around the gaff, and he doesn't really put out consistent performances. Very often, you're hoping for a good performance from him, and very occasionally, you only actually get it. And then thirdly, he's on an obscene amount of cash for the player that he actually is. £200,000 a week, etc. The guy's being paid like a world-class baller when he's basically the level of a baller that you should probably see, I don't know, down in playing for Nimes in France or something. You know, like a decent sort of player, but not a top-level player by any means. And that is the problem, guys. That's number three. That's number three there, Sin Games. But there's many reasons more, though. He's on huge cash, injury-prone melter, sulker, injury-prone. Again, that's worth mentioning many times because it's just annoying. And he's also not really a United player, is he? I don't know if he's got the right mentality for United. He sulks around the gaff. He's made of paper. He's just too much trouble. We've had better players come and go at Manchester United who we've had to let go and haven't been a success at the football club because of injury. And Tony Martial's another one of those guys. You know, he's another Owen Hargreaves. Only different is Owen Hargreaves was actually consistent and played well when he actually was fit. But he's another Owen Hargreaves. Big money, big injury-prone melter. You can't play the guy. Get rid. So we obviously want to try and get rid of him, but we probably can't get rid of him because he's unsaleable. So, yes, I think Ten Hag's just saying those things about Tony Martial because he knows that we're stuck with a guy and he obviously wants to try and utilise him while he's here. I'm sure if you could say to Ten Hag tomorrow, hey, look, we'll get some money from Saudi Arabia tomorrow for 20 million quid or 15 million quid or 10 million quid for Tony Martial, get his couple of £100,000 off the books so you can reinvest that in another player. I'm sure he'd snap your arm off. So I just think we're stuck with a guy. Do you think we'll keep or sell Tony this summer, guys? Do you think we'll keep or sell? I'm not asking you, do you think we should keep or sell? I'm saying, do you think we will end up keeping or selling him? Sadly, I think we'll keep him because, well, he's, like I say, all those reasons, he's just unsaleable right now. Keep, says Malps. You never know, though. I guess Saudi Arabia could come in. If anybody's going to take him, it could be Saudi Arabia. Loaning him out, that's a good point as well, Kerry. We did that last season. I suppose that could be a possibility. Mark Coughlin says, hope so. Keep, says Neil. Keep, says Rajat. Keep him in the medical room. Keep, says Chloe. Keep, says Salford Killer Gaming. Be lucky to get 5 for Martial. Yeah, maybe so. Let's ask the chat that, actually, Danny B. Nice comment, mate. How much do you think he's worth in this current climate? So he should be worth a bit, but because of all the aforementioned reasons, the money, the injury proneness, the inconsistencies, he can't be worth that much money. I think he's a £15 million player at most, this guy these days. That's awful, isn't it? Considering the talent that he has, because he does have a lot of great qualities and attributes to his play. Very skillful. He has got good finishing ability when he wants. And he's got obviously a lot of pace, and he's also got a lot of skill. Very skillful player. Doesn't produce it often enough. He's the French Adel Tarabt. 10 tops, says Chris Barker. 10 says Marky Coughlin. 15 says Mike Jones. 16 says Salford Killer. 10 quid, says Neil. Yeah, 10 million at the most, says Avutinator. I would sell him for 10 mil. I've got to be honest. I would sell him for 10 million quid. If anybody wanted him for 10 mil, I'd sell him. What's the point of keeping Big Tony at the football club these days? Especially if we're going out there and signing Rasmus Hojlund or bringing another striker in. He's going to be third choice striker before you know it. 8 to 10, says Raja. £1, says the Trooper. Can't even last the friendlies. There you go. Even right now, he's recovering from a bloody hamstring injury or whatnot. Constantly injured, this guy. One great season, precisely, outcome. Precisely. Oh, 5 million if we're lucky, says Eamon Barrett. Loan him to Everton, says Mike Jones. No one will buy an injury-prone player, not a chance. Yeah, maybe it's going to have to be another loan move for him if we do move him on. Which is why I think Ten Hag's saying these things like he almost wants Tony at the club. He doesn't really. I just think he's saying that because he knows that we're going to get stuck with him and he's going to have to utilise him sometimes. And he's a decent backup, I suppose. Look, I'd keep Tony Martial as a backup, but backups don't get paid 200 grand a week. If he was on 25 grand a week, he probably makes a bit of sense to keep him. But he's not. He's on 200 plus grand a week, that guy, which is an insane bit of cash for Tony. By the way, guys, thank you everybody who's getting in here tonight. Hope you're having a great evening, everyone. Do us a big favour if you're just joining. We've just hit 100 likes on the stream. We've got nearly 200 legends watching. There's about half of you legends have smashed the like button, but we can do better than that, my friends. Don't be a Tony Martial inconsistent melter and smash that like button. Hit the thumbs up button on this stream if you're just joining us, guys. Do take a second and like the video. And also share us around on social media. Pin the tweet to the top of the chat for you guys to go and retweet us. So go and give us a retweet. We'll shout it out a bit later. And like I say, drop a thumbs up on this video if you haven't. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on our way to 73,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. We're on here daily with the United news in the afternoon and the evening. Get yourself involved by subscribing. Top legends. Top legends. Right then. So where was I? Tony Martial is a true melter. What an absolute hindrance to this football club. But we're stuck with him. Third choice striker. Once we sign Hojlund, we would rather play many people instead. You know what I can see happening this summer, guys? I think Manchester United sign Hojlund. We don't bother with Kane. He goes to Bayern or wherever. Hojlund comes in and is our main guy. And I actually think that we probably end up with Mason Greenwood back in the ranks soon. I think they're just waiting for all this to blow over by not announcing it anytime soon. And they're just building up to it. They're building up to the time when they announce that he's staying and he's going to be part of the squad. And there's going to be a big backlash and they just want to get some of this transfer dealings out of the way first before they put anybody off. Or they want the season to be sort of underway first before they announce that. But I personally think they're going to slowly reintroduce Mason Greenwood back into the side and hope that it all blows over and hope that nobody, has too much of an issue with it. It's probably above Ten Hag, this, though, in terms of like who's actually making the decisions about this. But it's just got a feeling. Think about it. It's a huge asset. He's a big player. He could actually really help us in the forward positions on the pitch. I'm not saying he will help us in any other department because of how issue-laden the whole scenario is, but on the pitch he's a great young player and still has bags of potential. Now I could see us getting Rasmus Hojlund. That means we would have a good few striking options at the top of the pitch if we had Greenwood in the side. Hojlund, Greenwood, Rashford and Martial, all still options that can play up there. Look, just to clarify, I don't want Mason Greenwood necessarily to be a United player, but I'm just saying that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to cheap out a little bit, not go and do what we should do, which is to go and get Kane and Hojlund, and I think we're just going to end up with Mason Greenwood. What do you think, guys? Smash a 1 if you agree with me that that's what's going to happen at some point, or smash a 2 if you disagree and you think we will actually sack him off. I just don't see us getting rid of an asset like that. And I just don't think it's even realistic we can loan him out at this stage. Who wants him? There's too much of a furore surrounding him. Too much of a circus. If you're a club, any club, you might want him for his talents, but do you want him for everything else? Maybe not right now. Lots of 1s coming in the live chat. A few 2s that say, no, we're not going to keep him. But unfortunately, I think a lot of people at the club will still want him. Yeah, Berber says, I don't want him, but like you say, I can see us cheaping out. Yes, absolutely. I can see that happen as well. Rather than go and buy who we need to go and buy, Kane and Hojlund, just end up bringing Greenwood back into the side because he is a great player. But obviously, he has got a lot of baggage. A pint of beer is overrated and permanent bad baggage. It's the problem that Mason Greenwood presents because obviously every single game that we approach is going to have some sort of negativity shrouded by it once that Mason Greenwood's playing in. It really will. There'll be some horrendous rival fan chants and all the rest of it. It's a shame. Yeah, he's a good player, Neil. He's a great young player. He still is a great young player. Kind of a gash human, it seems, but a great young player. Allegedly. But let's just hope that maybe we can find the money to go and buy Harry Kane or do something crazy. There is still a tiny possibility maybe we sell Mason Greenwood to Saudi Arabia or something, or he goes out on loan for a season somewhere and knuckles down and lets it all blow over. But the reality is, I think we'll probably try and bring him in and cheap out and not go and get Harry Kane. I can see this club doing that. Just on other striking options then, before we get into the Hojlund update, what's going on with Hojlund, let's just talk about one or two other sort of players that have been linked with Manchester United before. I mean, there's actually a fresh report. I think this is just obviously wishful thinking from Al Hilal, but Al Hilal are apparently positioning themselves to make a huge move for Napoli and Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen. Don't see it happening. Okay, it's crazy cash involved, fair enough, but we've seen Kylian Mbappe turn down moving over there in his prime years just in the last day or so. I do think that obviously Saudi Arabia has the potential to turn any players' heads because of how much money they can offer them. But let's just hope this is not true. Let's hope this is not true. But there is a report from L'Equipe in France, who, you know, let's be honest, do come out with some guff sometimes, saying that Victor Osimhen is a target for Al Hilal after what's happened with Kylian Mbappe now. So I really hope that he doesn't go there. I still think he would be a fantastic player for Manchester United to go and get, obviously. Gives us what we need, but United again don't want to spend that level of cash, aka 100 million plus. We seemingly don't want to do that, otherwise we'd have probably already tried this summer. But our target is Hojlund, who's the cheap option. Yeah, Malps says Osimhen's the guy. I think you're right, Malps. I think if we actually had any bollocks about us and we were super ambitious, Osimhen's the one, isn't he? Osimhen's the guy to go and get. Well, him or Kane, because they're like ready-made, advanced players who can come in and bag you a lot of goals and have been proven to do that. Osimhen, okay, he's only done it in Serie A, but you know, you can see from his attributes and his abilities and the amount of goals he does score and the kind of goals he scores and his pace and everything, he would be a big asset to Ten Hag's team. Rasmus Hojlund, on the other hand, good young player, but more so one for the future. So I just am a little bit annoyed about this anyway. Hopefully, you know, we see Man United do try and go and get another striker, but just got a feeling we'll cheap out on Hojlund and bring Mason Greenwood back into the side. Just on that, Laurie Whitwell has come out and said that, and I personally don't think this has got much basis, but he says despite a price expected to surpass 60 million, Man United are planning to give Rasmus Hojlund time to settle by not making him an automatic starter and even possibly playing him on the left with Marcus Rashford up top. You what? I mean, I find that just silly, to be honest. Surely we're getting this guy to play up top and Rashford can play on the left wing, you know. Why would we do that? Doesn't really add up, to be fair, guys. So I reckon this is absolute just pure guff coming from Laurie Whitwell here, you know, in regards to that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Manchester United do some pretty odd things, but surely we should be trying to get Rasmus Hojlund in to be our main striker number 9 beast going forward and develop him and let him adapt there. I'm not crazy about Rashford up front. Look at him again last game. I mean, it's not necessarily his fault. He just didn't get any service, but he's good half the time, but I just don't think he has the necessary presence up there really to do that job that we need. And I think he's just better on the left wing anyway. It's better on the left wing anyway for him. So, come on, that is a little bit clutching at straws there, I think, to say that we could maybe play Hojlund out on the left and Rashford up front. But that is a story that has been coming out from Laurie Whitwell there. Wazza says play him up front or don't buy him. Exactly. I don't think we've got to worry about that. I honestly think we're going to be playing him up front and Rashford's going to be played out on the left wing in his favoured position. Rashford's not a striker. He might be able to play there, but just to clarify, he's not actually a striker. He's better at left wing. And he can score goals from left wing and he can be a big threat from left wing and he can run at players and his pace is blistering and he takes people on really well and he does cause a lot of problems. Gets you assists from that position, whereas, you know, as striker, yes, he can stretch the opposition. Yes, he's got that raw pace. But his eye for a goal, his clinicality, it's decent, but it's not exceptional. We need somebody there who's got an exceptional ability to find the back of the net. Mason Greenwood would have been a great player for that, to be honest. But unfortunately, he's a toe rag. Right, so, yes, there's that, guys. Let's just talk about this for a second. Andre Onana, what's my name? I thought he had a great debut last night in that shithouse game against Real Madrid. Some stats here from Statman Day said that Andre Onana completed 95% of his passes against Real Madrid. David De Gea only managed to beat that percentage once in the Premier League last season. De Gea 97.1% versus Leeds. Andre Onana, 95.1% versus Real Madrid. Now, that's quite interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. I know it's a friendly. I know you can't really say too much, but obviously the level of opposition is just way more. In the Leeds game, we'd be dominating the play. And in this game, we were getting dominated, if anything, against Real Madrid. And Andre Onana still putting up big numbers in terms of his passes completed. And he played a heck of a lot of good forward passes and a lot of great short passes. And I just think it does show you the sort of goalkeeper that he is. Some people may slag him off for that first goal. Martinez had it. Maybe Andre Onana should have stayed back. And possibly if David De Gea was in the goal, it wouldn't have been a goal. But he's rushed out to try and close down the angle there. It's just a world-class chip. And anyway, it was offside anyway. But I just wanted to mention that because interesting stat that's come through there, guys. And I just think it tells you that's his first game. That was his first game against really great opposition in Real Madrid, who did dominate certainly large parts of the game. And those are the statistics that he's putting up. De Gea only managed to beat that percentage of passing once in the whole of last season. I know it's a competitive game in the Premier League, but it's against Leeds, who we dominated, rather than against Real Madrid, who we got dominated by. So I think that shows you the sort of goalkeeper that we're getting. We're getting somebody that does have very good distribution and hopefully can, be a great asset for us in the way of playing that we're trying to go to. Hey, Vutilator, thank you very much for the likes tally, my friend. Get in there, my son. He says we got 131 likes. Thank you, everybody, for hitting that like button. Keep smashing the likes. Let's see if we can get 150 just like that. Otherwise, I'm ending the stream right now. That's right. You better smash the like, guys. Otherwise, I'm fucking leaving. Offside does not stop his decision and positioning being guff, says Big T. No, okay, fair enough. First game, I thought his overall performance was fantastic. The first error, I guess you could say it's an error, but he's just setting in. It's like he's just setting in at Manchester United. I saw quite a few people in the live chat criticising his positioning, criticising him yesterday, and I didn't see it really. I mean, the first goal, yes, a little bit suspect. It was his first 6 or 7 minutes as a United player, just coming into the team. He needs time to settle and work and adapt and get that understanding with his teammates. But that probably doesn't happen in a couple of weeks' time. Martinez was going to close Bellingham down. Martinez has got it covered, right? And there's no real reason, I suppose, for Andre Onana to come out that far. Because Martinez is there and he's got it. But that's something that will not happen again once they've actually got that communication up and actually got an understanding going. It's his first game, literally his first game. So, people saying that he's crap and his positioning's guff and all that, they'll work on those things. He'll get an understanding with the back line. And it will be much simpler for him going forward, I think. So, yeah, no goalkeeper's perfect. He is going to look like he's doing some crazy things as well at times because of the nature of the way he plays. He plays a little bit on the edge for a goalkeeper. You see him coming out of the box a lot. You see him playing a deep line playmaker role. And he's outside the area and he's forward and back and forward and back and forward and back. And so he looks a little bit erratic. But that's just the way that he plays. So honestly, don't think there's going to be much problems with him. I think he's going to be an excellent player who transforms the way we play. Paul says he's a top goalie and he needs time. Exactly, Neil Gilbert. He needs absolute time. Luan says no notification. Oh, no way. Oh, that's awful, Luan France. I don't know why. I don't think we've got any notifications today, Absolute stitch up. Let us know if you got a notification, guys. Smash a 1 if you did. If you got one, smash a 2 if you didn't. Thank you, though, Luan. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know. But either way, do smash the like button on this stream, guys, and share us around so everybody can find the stream. Cheers. That's my fear. We're going to take risks at the back without having a goal banger at the front. Well, we certainly do need a goal banger at the front. You could see that in the Real Madrid game. We were poor. Bruno's a cam and that's that. Yeah, I don't like him on right wing either. Either maybe you could play him a bit deeper. I thought he did well towards the end of last season a little bit deeper, i.e. playing alongside Casemiro, because he does run around a lot. He's super energetic, Bruno, and he likes to tackle. But I think he's better at CAM as well. But either CAM or CM, he's better in the central positions. He's better either spreading the play as a deeper player, or he's better in the hole, playing all those through balls and making things happen. Completely agree with you, Malps. Bruno as a right wing is gashtastic. But let's just be honest, that was a pre-season game. Ten Hag's trying some things. It's an educational game. And it's just it's just literally a game where it's a friendly and we're trying to, we're obviously trying to learn some things and trying to just get an understanding together. That's really what it is, guys. So I don't think we got to worry about Andre Onana, peeps. I really don't think that's the case. Right, let me cover some of the rest of the stuff that we've got going, guys, and then I will, obviously, we're going to have a Q&A at the end of the stream as well. So let's just talk about the Rasmus Hojlund sort of latest situation very quickly. Not going to get on it too much, but obviously Erik ten Hag's desperate to get Rasmus Hojlund in. That is what is understood. He's really, really desperate to bring in the striker that he needs. We obviously needed that last night. You could see that we needed that. We didn't have it, and it was poor. So Fab said that will be a Hojlund bid soon. Obviously earlier on, he mentioned that basically he understands that United have scheduled a new round of talks with Atalanta for Hojlund, so that's coming soon. Simon Stone from the BBC has said that basically Ten Hag's working, Ten Hag and Manchester United, Erik ten Hag said Man United are working 24/7 to get a new striker in. There is confidence around Hojlund, and he's reportedly quite desperate to bring in a new player. We certainly do need to get a new player. I think we're getting sort of desperate for a striker. Look at that game against Real Madrid. We don't have a proper striker right now. We're having to play Rashford there. It's not his best position. But beyond that, we're playing Jadon Sancho through the middle and stuff, and that's not his best position. We're also maybe thinking about going forward with this season with Tony Marcio, and he's gash. So we could definitely do with selling that guy. So very, very disconcerting at the moment, the whole striker scenario at the football club. We definitely do need a striker, and Ten Hag's getting reasonably desperate. He said in his last presser that they're working on a striker and he'd like to get a striker in as soon as possible to work with them in pre-season. He said it's not always possible for that to happen so quickly. But he's definitely wanting to bring in a player ASAP, isn't he? Don't know when it will be. I personally think the Rasmus Hojlund situation is hotting up now, and give it a few days and we'll probably have an agreement in place, and then a few days after that and he'll probably be a Manchester United player. Maybe by that Lens game, is it the 5th of August? We've got one on the 5th and one on the 6th, I think, a couple of friendlies. Let's just hope, maybe, if there is a footballing god out there, that we can sign Rasmus Hojlund by then and give him one pre-season game at least, just to get his feet under the door. Or under the table, I mean. Combine two different phrases there. Get through the door and put his feet under the table, you know what I'm saying? That's what we want. Him to come in and settle in a little bit before the Premier League starts. It would be very annoying if the Premier League's got underway and then we're signing Hojlund. So give it a week. Hopefully he'll be a United player. And we're desperate for a striker, obviously. Ten Hag's massively desperate to get this guy in. Otherwise, we're going to be starting the season with shitty Tony Martial up top there, which is an absolute calamity. Just on that as well, on the Atalanta front, so yes, PSG may have put a bid in earlier on today, 50 million euros, that's 10 million euros less than what Man United verbally offered. We're expected to formalise that with a written offer very soon, but we are having more talks with them. And Atalanta, like I say, they've already got that here we go situation and signed El Bilal Touré. So El Bilal Touré is confirmed. He is an Atalanta player for a record fee. And there's another quote this evening, another tweet this evening from Fabrizio Romano, which has just come out at 10:23, that says that his medical is tomorrow. The plan confirmed for El Bilal Touré to Atalanta, as revealed earlier, it's a club record fee for Atalanta. So they've already laid the foundations to replace Rasmus Hojlund. So it seems like they're prepared to sell this guy soon. And tomorrow, El Bilal Touré is going to have his medical and will be an Atalanta player, which is excellent news for us, because it means Rasmus should be sold soon. So we're going to go and have talks with them further this week. As Fabrizio reported in this tweet here, we are going to go and have further talks with them and try and thrash out a deal. And it will probably be for around about 65 million euros, hopefully 60 million euros. We've had verbal conversations in that area. They want to have more money, of course, but that's not realistic. It's not realistic. So probably 65 million euros and we get this guy. And they've signed El Bilal Touré, who's the replacement. So it all looks good, guys. All roads are pointing to Rasmus Hojlund being unveiled as a United player in a week or within the next few days, hopefully. But we'll see. Probably will take a little bit of time, obviously, to get the finalisations in place, medicals, paperwork, all of that stuff. But I hope that he's a United player by the Lens game. By the Lens fixture. I think that's on the 5th of August, isn't it? So, yes, there you go, guys. That is the meaty news around about Rasmus Hojlund. What else have we got for you here? That's about it. Let me go into the... let's go and have a look at the updates as well throughout the show, see what's coming here. If there's any latest information that's quite interesting, let's take a little look. Alfredo Padula has tweeted out this evening, actually, guys, and he has said that in regards to Hojlund and Atalanta, Atalanta are waiting for the official bid between tomorrow and Saturday of 70 million euros plus 5 in bonuses. So far, no official PSG bid, not even from 50. Hojlund for now remains in the squad for Saturday's friendly in Bournemouth. So that's quite interesting, isn't it, from Alfredo Padula? Hopefully we're going to get it done, though. So that's interesting. Right, okay, I'm going to do a quick rundown of what we discussed in this video, guys. Then we'll get in for a Q&A and have a little bit of a chat. As always, keep hitting that like button, everyone. Drop a like on this video. Helps the stream out. And get yourself subscribed to this channel if you're new to the channel. It'd be much appreciated if you hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon and get yourself notifications. So, Fabrizio Romano says that the Hojlund bid is coming very, very soon. Another round of talks is expected very, very soon. Simon Stone says that Manchester United are working around the clock 24/7 to get a new striker. Reports are that Erik ten Hag's getting pretty desperate because the season's approaching, and that game yesterday against Real Madrid just proved that we do need to start utilising players in the right positions, and therefore we need to go and get a proper striker, don't we? Laurie Whitwell said that we may well be bringing in Hojlund to not be a striker immediately, and we might bring him in slowly. I find that hard to believe because we're desperate for a striker. El Balotore, new deal over at new deal for him. He's signed now for Atalanta. Medical tomorrow. Replacement for Rasmus Hojlund. So all looking good on that front. Good shout, Mouse. Let's talk about Amrabat for a second. I forgot about that. So Amrabat is at the same situation. You know, there's an understanding we've got to sell players in order to generate the cash to actually buy Amrabat. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case. So Fabi Romano says United have spoken to Sofyan Amrabat's camp. The sales of Fred and Donny van der Beek are crucial for the transfer. So we're trying to raise a little bit more cash, basically. That's all. Trying to raise a little bit more cash before we can actually go and buy him, which I'm sorry to say is piss poor from Manchester United, but that's kind of the way it is. We are working on Fred to Galatasaray. We're working on McTominay to West Ham. We're even potentially working on Maguire to West Ham as well, and various other players like Henderson out on loan. Maybe one or two others. Bailly, possibly Martial to Saudi, but very unlikely. So that's the latest there. We're working on players away. Just on that, to clarify what we talked about earlier, you know, obviously we're still going in for Amrabat. He's agreed to join Manchester United. We would just have to make it official and formal, and Fiorentina would obviously have to accept our bid. And we're not at that stage yet because it seems like Manchester United have to sell a couple of players, which is very disappointing. Maguire is a target for West Ham as well, which, you know, is one of the players we could look to sell. We need to sell players in order to finance deals. That's the reality, guys. Man United are set to boost their transfer budget with several sales. Fred, Donny van der Beek, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, Dean Henderson, Eric Bailly, all for sale. Just quickly, I forgot to mention this, actually. Maguire is also wanted in Italy, if you believe these reports coming out of Italy that say a host of Serie A clubs are interested in slabbing Maguire. They're interested in signing him from United, Napoli, AS Roma, Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and a loan with an option to buy is considered. Take it with a pinch of salt, but I could see Slabby Maguire doing bits over there in Serie A. Honestly, it's a bit of a slower paced league. Hopefully this is true, and hopefully there is a team out there that wants to take him. Maybe they only want him if it's a loan with an option to buy, you know, because there's no risk then for these teams. Maybe that is the case, but look how good some of the players that we've lost in recent times, such as Chris Smalling, have done over there. Chris Smalling was a better player, by the way, but he's gone over there and he's basically one of the best defenders in their league. In fact, I saw some quotes from Rasmus Hojlund the other day saying that he's like the best defender that he come up against in the league, and he always found it, you know, tough to play against him, etc. So, you know, Harry Maguire going over to Serie A probably fits him reasonably well. Obviously, it's quite unlikely, I suppose. It's not the most likely possibility to happen, but let's just hope that they do come in for a cheeky bid for him, because he's one of the players we need to sell. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Alan says 1 million Roma will take him. Slabby will stay with Eustace Crazy Joe. There's a big grain of salt. Maguire's head-sized grain of salt. That's true, Primot. He's a salty individual as well, isn't he? Yeah, good shout, good shout. Okay, then. So there's the Maguire stuff. Obviously, Fred is wanted by Galatasaray. Some reports suggested earlier he'd agreed personal terms with Galatasaray. We got to reach an agreement with these clubs. Hopefully we can get 15 to 20 million for Fred and get him sold, and that way that will finance the Amrabat deal. Also, the other big news of the day is that Bayern Munich will be meeting Spurs tomorrow. They'll be meeting Spurs tomorrow to discuss the Harry Kane deal. Meeting is scheduled on Friday as expected. Bayern Munich are prepared to improve their bid after 80 million euros plus add-ons was rejected 15 days ago. So that's via Fabrizio Romano. They will be having a meeting tomorrow, and it's expected that they may be able to fresh out a deal. It could take a lot of money, though. Ben Jacobs thinks around about 100 million euros. So, you know, talking about a big bit of cash here. Bayern's third bid for Harry Kane expected to be close to 100 million euros. New round of talks with Daniel Levy's incoming. Bayern's optimistic, even though they've struggled to date to get a price out of Levy. Kane's open to the move, despite not yet telling Spurs categorically he wants to leave via Ben Jacobs. Well, you know, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? Man United probably won't try, and maybe the path will be free for him to go to Bayern Munich. It's a shame. I think the Premier League is a richer place for having Harry Kane in it, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he is one of the best strikers in the world. Let's just have a look at one or two things that's come in here, guys. So, yes, El Bilal Touré situation, that has now been confirmed as well. El Bilal Touré is a Atalanta player, 30 million euros approximately, bonuses included. He will arrive in Bergamo tomorrow morning to sign with Atalanta. Ooh, raw news there. That's Rasmus Hojlund's replacement, guys. Get in there, my son. Big selling signals from Atalanta with that news. Also, report here that Man United are ready to improve the proposal to Atalanta for Hojlund. Understand that United will put on the table 55 million euros fixed, plus 10 million euros in add-ons coming close. So 65 million euros is probably bang on the money that it takes to get him. How much do you think it takes to get him, guys, Rasmus Hojlund to United? I think that's bang on, actually. I think that's exactly what we'll end up paying, is 55 million euros up front and 10 million euros in add-ons. Because we've already had a verbal offer for 60 million, and now we're going to talk to them. And we're not going to pay 70, I don't think. I think it'll be 65 all told. Right then, guys, I'm going to get into the live chat. So it's Q&A time. Everyone, get your thoughts and opinions about anything we're discussing here. Do us a favour, smash that like on this video. Let's see if we can get 200 likes on the stream tonight. Click the subscribe button if you're new to the show. And also, go over to Twitter and give us a retweet. I'm just going to pop over to Twitter very quickly and shout out all the legends who've given us a cheeky little retweet over there. We've had 20 retweets on this stream. Thank you, everyone, seriously, for retweeting the show. That is very, very nice of you. Get in there, you legends. Aaron Homeyard, ADV, Benny, J United in Gaming, Richard Ristapek, the Mario 55, Sin Games, Transfers _UTD, Tiger Woods, Kieran, Jaden, Stephen Braun, Andy Davidge, Mark, Cal L, John Boy Cat, The Butcher of Manchester, CZ Bam, and Jarvis Cocker. Thank you, legends, for retweeting the show there. Does really help the show. Get in there, you beauties. Right, it's Q&A time, guys. Come on, let's be having you. Get your thoughts and opinions in. We're going to stick on here for 5-10 minutes or so and see what you legends are saying. Alfie Maturi, good evening. He says, hope you're doing okay, G. What do you think about the way we were set up last night, bro? Also, can you tell my missus I love her? Hey, Mrs. Maturi, your mate Alfie loves you. There you go. Alfie, thank you very much, bro, for your question. How do I think of how we were set up? I didn't really love it, I'm going to be honest. It's a shame that Kobbie Mainoo got injured early doors. Ericsson came on for him, and I thought kind of stunk up that midfield. Mainoo could have been a key to that midfield performance. Unfortunately, he got injured. It was a shame. Plus, I don't like Bruno on the right. I don't like Rashford up top. I wasn't crazy about the setup. I honestly wasn't crazy about the setup. I'll just be honest. But I think Ten Hag's just experimenting, isn't he? And just trying some things. We didn't look great either. We didn't look very tenacious. It's not like we were really pressing super from the off or anything. We looked a bit sluggish going into that game. Thoughts on Mount and how much does he have to improve? Oh, on Mason Mount, I thought he was kind of crap yesterday as well. He has to improve a heck of a lot. We can't be putting in levels of performances like that. It's pre-season, though. It's his third game. I'm not going to jump on him too soon. But you know my thoughts on him, guys. He's an overrated player. We'll see how he performs in a Ten Hag side throughout the season. Hopefully much better than he did yesterday. Because I thought he was absolutely bang average yesterday, to be honest. But, you know, hopefully he will improve and do a lot better things for us going forward. Rushdie says 174 likes. DJ Disco Dave says, am I the only one worried about this Saudi shit? We have seen that happen with the Gulf. I'm sure we ain't seen the end of the Super League Gulf. Yeah, no, it is worrying. It can definitely hinder the Premier League in the future. Not now, but in the future, I guess it could be... It definitely could be a problem. I'm not really worried about him, Mike Hill. No, I think he'll be absolutely fine. I think he'll be fine. Danny B says, Mainoo update. Okay, so I haven't heard anything else about Kobbie Mainoo, apart from obviously there was a picture of him leaving the stadium last night with crutches. And that's obviously a concern. You don't leave on crutches if there's nothing wrong, do you? So I think that he's probably got a reasonable injury. I don't know the times or the lengths involved here of what he's actually happened to him. And it's a really big worry, of course, that he's got some sort of long-term injury. Hopefully it's not too much, but you know, I think he has obviously got some sort of reasonably serious injury because of the fact that he left on crutches. Maybe it's just a precaution. Yeah, true, Mounts. Maybe it is just a precaution. They didn't want to take a chance of him putting any weight on it or anything before he had a scan. But we'll find out hopefully very soon, probably before the next press conference, or sorry, before the next game, the press conference that Ten Hag does. He'll probably address that and give us an update exactly on Kobbie Mainoo, and also even Scott McTominay, because Scott McTominay was finished the game down on the ground, didn't he? So that's a concern. He's a player we're trying to get rid of and sell. We certainly need him to be fit so we can sell the guy. You haven't seen Mount yet, says FJT. He wasn't very good. He honestly wasn't very good. In fact, other than the first sort of half an hour of his first debut game, I haven't really been overly impressed with Mount much at all so far, but it's only been a few games. I just don't know really what all the hype is about with him. And I never have done, to be honest, but look, Ten Hag knows what he's doing. Stay gold, yes. Big up to the moderators, absolutely. Who is Mount? Don't see that player, says TJ. Yeah, Mainoo looks a good promise. I hope it's not too serious. He looks a fantastic young player, doesn't he? Yeah, he's only 18. To be fair, as long as it's not really serious, he should be young and robust enough to bounce back from it. But, you know, there's been many a good young player who've had their career ruined or derailed due to an injury. Let's just hope it's not a serious one. You don't like Mount, says Howard Garrix? I'm not a huge fan of him either, bud, to be perfectly fair. Would the WWE take Maguire? Well, they've lost the Big Show now, haven't they? So maybe they could do with a big replacement like that, you know? Slabby Maguire to the WWE makes a bit of sense. At the very least, they could use him as a turnbuckle. You know what I mean? Chelsea fans laughing at us for buying Mounts this in games. Crazy 60 million quid. Unbelievable. You ain't missed much, JT. Yeah, Dortmund on the 31st at 2 a.m. That's the next game. Hey, thank you there, Rugmuncher007 for the super chat, bud. Come on. Everyone, let's get some Sues in the chat there for Rugmuncher007. He sent a super chat in. He says, did you know that camels don't know that sharks exist, says Rugmuncher007. I've never really given it that much thought, to be fair, lad. But now you mention it, it makes sense. Now you mention it, it makes sense. Why would camels think that? Camels usually in the desert, aren't they? There's not really many sharks around that gaff. So they probably know that maybe, I don't know, crocodiles exist. But, you know, if you really sat down and have a conversation with a camel, yeah, they'd probably tell you they don't even know what a shark is, bud. So that makes sense now you said it. Thank you very much for your super chat, bud. Appreciate it. You what? Stephen says, I look for Garnacho to have a great year, especially with a new young striker coming in. They could run everyone under. Yeah, fair play to you. I like your style. What a great player. Thought he had a good game, actually. He was decent. There was only a few players I thought really looked very good yesterday. Garnacho looked pretty good, didn't he? Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. I thought that the goalkeeper, Onana, definitely did well. So, yeah, everyone else was kind of mediocre or gash. But I certainly think Garnacho, given plenty of opportunities this season, will develop nicely and will prove just what a great player he is to us yet again. He's the sort of guy who just makes stuff happen, and he plays with a real freedom out there, which is refreshing to see. Mount could come good. Oh, he will come good, Alan. He will come good. Don't get me wrong. He will come good. I don't see the point of writing Mount off just yet. He will come good. He's got to have time to adapt and develop as well at United in this system. It's not going to happen overnight. We should know whether Mason Mount's going to be a success at Manchester United at the end of this season. Not at the end of pre-season, at the end of this season. We've got to give him this season to show what he can do in a Ten Hag side. Ten Hag's got to have spent 60 million on this guy for a reason. Camels don't know that Edward would exist either. Oh, some random comments coming in tonight, guys. Mount needs time, people. He just got here. Let's see at the end of the season. Exactly, OP Dragon. Spot on, agree with you. The Glazers have been to Saudi, says Big T. Absolutely, Rushmono says subscribe to the channel. Please do hit that subscribe button if you're new. Amrabat needs to come quickly, doesn't it? Yeah, we need that range of passing from midfield. We need that ability to get us going more so from the midfield. You know, I agree. I think Amrabat is actually a great player for us on paper, at least. See how he actually performs when he's here, but on paper he's exactly what we need to help us start spreading the play better and cutting teams open better. Don't think we need a backup striker as well, like Taremi from Porto? Yeah, we do need a backup striker, mate. Taremi, isn't he got like a minimum free release clause of like 30 mil or something I heard as well? We could certainly do a lot worse than Taremi. So that's a good point. We certainly could do with with the backup second striker. Absolutely agree with you. Did Camels get the hump psychologically? Sell off the club off, been quiet. Oh, Pete Scogman, it's just slow, isn't it? So slow. We just got to hope that these Glazer toe rags go soon. Hashtag Glazers out, mate. Absolutely. We've got to get rid of them soon. But it is slow. You're right. I mean, it could take a long time before these Glazers are gone. You believe? I mean, the worst case scenario is that they just sign lots of players this summer and stay. United does not know that City will smash them again. Well, City are scumbag cheats, mate. Hopefully they get smashed by the FA and smashed by UEFA and FIFA and everybody soon for their scumbag outright cheating, lad. Nobody cares about City around here, Crazy Joe. You know, you're under the false pretenses that we actually respect Man City. We don't. We totally disrespect Man City. City are not worthy of our respect, lad, because they've done everything they've done by cheating, mate. It's a disgrace and a nonsense. Oh, yeah, Zayn not on tonight. It's lovely and peaceful, says Simon. Greenwood backup striker. Yeah, Mark, I can see that happen. I personally think we will bring him back into the squad soon. I don't think we want him, but I think, I don't want him, but I think that we will bring him in. Casemiro and Amrabat pivot sounds bloody good, doesn't it, Rashad V? Would you rather have Maguire, Mustafi or Phil Jones as your centre-back? Goodness me. Could you imagine a back three consisted of those melts? Jackie says Mason Mount would continue his misery at United. To answer your question, genuinely, probably Phil Jones. Hate Man City says Paul Macker. Kate Cadet, Mason Mount's guff and needs to be sold immediately. Bloody hell, you got to give him a chance, lad. Got to give him a chance. I don't rate him that highly, though, based on the last couple of seasons, but you got to give him a chance at United. Hey, guys, we're only 20 likes away from 200 likes. That is the target for the stream. Keep hitting the likes. Let's get to 200 likes on the stream, peeps. Drop a cheeky thumbs up if you're just joining the stream. Every little like helps us to compete against the clickbaiters and corporation mugs of this world. So drop a thumbs up if you enjoy the show. That's the best way you can support the channel. Nice one. Les Comerford, I'm not too bad, lad. Enjoying the Q&A with you legends here. Hope you're good. Simon says, are we going to see more of Sancho this season? Or should he stay? He's impossible to sell, mate. He's on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week and he's shite. We're gash, mate. And Sancho's gash, unfortunately, because of it. But you know what? He was decent in a game the other day. Not the last one. He was terrible. But he's inconsistent. He needs to get that consistency. This is his last season to prove himself. If he can't do it this season, then we've got to get rid. Honestly, this is his last season. I hate Liverpool more, but it's a toss-up, really. Shout out to Maggie Ash. Absolutely shout out to Maggie Ash. Are you talking about Maguire being gash? I don't know there, Paul Macker. Mason and Hojlund is a title chase. Do you think we'll get kicked out of the Prem if found guilty? City. City. Will City get kicked out of the Prem? I mean, they should. They should get kicked out of the football pyramid, if you ask me. But no, I don't think they will. I think they might get, at worst, like a 15-point deduction for one season because they'll make things go away with their scumbag brown paper bags under the table filled with cash. Those scum glazers not going to leave. They want the money because we're in the Champions League. Yeah, probably right, bud. They might sell us, in a year's time now, but it's got to be reasonably soon, wouldn't it? It's got to be reasonably soon. Come on. You'll support City if Greenwood makes another appearance. Bloody OFJT. Why don't you go support them now, you absolute turncoat? We're not selling Sancho. He's impossible to sell. You can see Elanga being another Lingard at Forest. Yeah. We could actually make a bit more cash on that deal from what I've heard, by the way. Maybe up to 20 million, depending on how he does from add-ons. So that's interesting. Corruption will save City, says Mounts. Yep. Luan Francis Mount will do well after he settles. I think we've got to take that mentality as well, Luan. We've got to give him a chance. We've got to hope he settles. We've got to hope he does well. Same with Onana. You've got to give these plenty of time. You've got to give these players time to develop and settle in and adapt. It's a new team, new surroundings, new tactics, new everything. And it's going to take a little bit of time. Man played 45 minutes a game in 2 games thus far and scored a goal. That's inconsistent. What about Rashford? He's done fuck all, says Mark N. Rashford scored 30 goals for us last season and got the Player of the Year award, mate. You know what I mean? Just to let you know. And this is pre-season, mate. Nobody cares about pre-season, lad. Jadon Sancho, a goal against Arsenal in pre-season. All of a sudden you think he's actually decent. He's inconsistent as they come, bud. You know what the definition of inconsistent is? It's being good sometimes and shit sometimes. That is inconsistent. He wouldn't be inconsistent if he was good all the time or even bad all the time. He'd either be consistently good or consistently shit. But he's not. Sometimes he is good. I'll give him the credit. And other times he's gash. That means he's super inconsistent. That is Jadon Sancho. He is super inconsistent. Judge Mount on his UCL season, not last season. All Chelsea players were shit. Yeah, precisely. Yeah, so for the 2 seasons before last season, he was actually pretty good for Chelsea, wasn't he? Didn't he get their player of the season, etc.? Pretty good. You think Sancho will come good this season once the 10R cogs start turning? Yeah, good shout, Babes of Busby. Good shout. Could well be the case. He's certainly going to get chances because he's unsaleable. When we beat Arsenal twice matters, though, says CZ Pam. True. The fact Onana adapted the game in less than 8 minutes, it takes 2 years. And still counting, Sancho can't find it. I'm not saying that Onana's adapted. I don't think he's adapted yet. He's only just come in, but he certainly looked good on his debut. But players can come in and have a good debut. It doesn't really mean that they've adapted. It's going to take time for him to adapt, just like anyone. But I think he is obviously, had a bright start. Anthony needs to show more this season. That's a good point as well, Sim Games. He was good last season, but again, he was quite inconsistent. He needs to step up and be more consistent to a higher level. Completely agree with you. Mount had all the time at Chelsea bench, so he should now be good to be at Man United. You what? It needs an upgrade, i.e. I genuinely do think we're being left behind in all areas at this football club. I mean, it's not that old, really, is it, that United went over there from the cliff? What year was that, guys? Does anybody know what year that was? I mean, they were still playing at the cliff and stuff until, I don't know, is it the early 2000s or somewhere around about there? It's not exactly, it can't be that dilapidated, but you listen to what Cristiano Ronaldo was saying in that interview with Piers Morgan. He was saying it's like bloody ancient. So I don't know. I'm not in there. I don't know exactly what it's like in there, but it probably isn't state of the art, to be fair, because the Glazers don't like spending money. 98 says IE. Okay then. 187 likes. Get in there, Vutinator. Thank you everyone for hitting that like button. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, bud, for hitting that cheeky little one there, my son. Ronaldo's kind of spoiled. Oh, he is big time must play. Well, Old Trafford's a great iconic stadium and it's still class, Jamie, but it's a little bit dated now and it does need serious refurbishment. I think we should try and keep the core of it, but essentially just massively update it. It needs a lot of money and it needs a lot of love and care spent on it, really. Unfortunately, the Glazers aren't prepared to do it. A gym is a gym. Rocky had no issues. True, in fact, Ivan Drago was using that state-of-the-art facilities and he couldn't match Rocky's back-to-basics mountaineering style regime, could he? You know what I'm saying? Hearts on fire, strong desire, burning deep within. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need the basics, mate. 100% agree with you. Maguire may go to Roma. In his overlap video, he says Mourinho wanted him the year before and Ollie got him. I can see Mourinho going, that'd be filth. Why would he go to Roma? What a song. It's a classic, isn't it? Old Trafford just needs some WD-40 and a plunger and it's good. I think upgrade it. I think refurb it. Maybe keep some of the core of it. Like keep a couple of the stands and replace a couple of the stands. Keep the identity there because it is iconic, but I wouldn't want to just knock it down and build a toilet seat like Spurs have done or something. I think we kind of just got to re-energize that place. It needs work, says Eamon. You're pumped, says Dabo. You think it needs a rebuild? Yeah, there you go. Keep the soul there, says CC Bam. They pack them in like sardines, mate. I don't know why I did a Scouse accent then, guys. Sorry. Look, in Scousers, la. Stadium symbolises a club. Used to be great, stuck in the past. Well, fair play. That's a very good comment, Berber. I think you're basically right. Cheaper to build a new stadium? It may be cheaper, but is that the right thing to do? Very expensive. That would cost our club a lot of money. Only Qatar can do that. Yeah, the Glazers aren't going to do it. Bang up the railway end and make the rest pretty. It will be great, says Berber. There you go. Keep the memories part and upgrade the rest. Absolutely, guys. Absolument. Okay then, peeps. Well, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. It's getting late. It's nearly 11:30. Let's get into a few more comments. Get your thoughts and opinions in about anything real quick. We're going to read a few more comments out, then I'm going to wrap this stream up. It's been an absolutely awesome stream tonight. Thank you for getting in here, everybody, and having your say. Obviously, Harry Kane is expected to maybe have a deal reached for soon. That was a weird way of wording it, but you know what I mean. Harry Kane tomorrow is going to be the subject of negotiations between Spurs and Bayern. Man United working on Hojlund. Those are the big stories. Man United trying to sell Maguire, McTominay, Fred, these guys. That's basically the latest stories. Where would we play our home games if the stadium had a major overhaul? Ewood Park. Our soul has been stripped. Don't take our stadium, says Big T. Glazers shithouses wouldn't put a cent into infrastructure. Going to see a toilet seat when United play in the Aviva Stadium, Dublin. Will we get Here we go with Hojlund tomorrow, says Malps. Not tomorrow, I don't think. But you never know. Could be Malps, but I don't think so. Piggy, have you been to Sheesh restaurant in Chigwell? No, I haven't, mate. I've never been to Chigwell. Probably never will go to Chigwell. But thanks for the recommendation, bud. You're going to the Aviva, says Eamon Barrett. Nice. Very good stuff. You reckon Phil Jones is a disgrace? I'm not so sure. I mean, he did steal a living at Manchester United for a significant amount of time, I guess. Big up yourself, Stephen Shipman. Thank you, my friend. Mark says, United in a title race, not sure we're going to win. But I can see us being 10 to 15 points better. Yeah, I think you're probably onto something there, Mark. We should be better this season. If Qatar take over, they will build a temp stadium for us to play in whilst we build a new Old Trafford. Like it. If Qatar take over, we seriously could be doing some amazing things going forward. I mean, I hate to say it, but look at what City have done. They've had their application approved as well tonight. They've reported it that that they've more improvements taking place, including a Sky Bar and 400 hotel rooms and all this guff that they're doing. Do you think we'll do well in the Premier League, says Paul Macker? I do, mate. I think we'll do better than last year. I think we'll finish second. But unfortunately, City are just cheating bastards who are too far ahead of everyone at the moment. I'm from Dorset, lad. I'm from Dorset. The Vootinator says, glad I got to experience Old Trafford in the 70s, 80s and 90s. It's not been the same since the Leechers arrived. Yeah, very well said, lad. Can't call a new stadium Old Trafford. Well, I don't know if it would be called New Trafford or New Old Trafford. Sounds a bit weird. It can't be called New Old Trafford. It would have to be called New Trafford, I suppose. I guess. Maybe so, Sing Games. Yeah, flat pack stadium, lad. Order one from IKEA. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this stream up right here. Thank you, everybody who's got in here and chatted with me tonight. Great banter, as always. Some questionable comments. Some random comments. But I really do appreciate it. Qatar have got flat pack stadiums ready to throw up. Exactly there, Big T. You're absolutely right. They do. They actually do. New Trafford. I think it should be called New Old Trafford, personally. End it all now. There you go. Why not call the stadium Fergie Stadium? I mean, that'd be cool, Simon. Sir Alex Ferguson Stadium. I mean, that would be cool. Could definitely do worse, couldn't we? Thank you, Chris Barker. Qatar Airways Arena. Could see it happening, to be fair. Phil Jones deserved every penny he got. He was hurt playing his ass off for the club. He didn't steal anything. Don't know, Luan France. Completely disagree, to be fair. He should have pissed off a long time ago. Up to a point, that was true. But the last couple of years, he has just been stealing a living at the club. He could have gone and played elsewhere, but he didn't want to. He wanted to sit around on the bench and get his 100 grand a week rather than actually go and play somewhere. I think he stole a living the last couple of years. Before that, what you said's true. He always tried for us. But honestly, do think that he was stealing a living the last 2 years. Come on. He could have gone out on loan. There was offers for him from like League One and players and different teams coming in for him. He just didn't want to go. He's a scumbag. Disco Dave, Busby Way Stadium. Like it. It's Old Trafford because it's in Old Trafford. Okay, fair enough, but you could still call it New Trafford. Do you know what I mean? Why not? So what? It's called Old Trafford because it's in Old Trafford. It could be called New Trafford, mate. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Or New Old Trafford. It's fine. The Fellaini Field, says CZ Bam. How about New Trafford? Well, that's what I'm saying, Boomy. New Trafford, New Old Trafford. You could call it the Stretford, Trafford, okay, whatever. Anyway, who knows? I'm just saying, it doesn't really matter about the name, does it? Who actually cares? I actually say refurbish it and just still call it Old Trafford. You don't even need a new name for it. Just refurbish it and call it Old Trafford. It's still the same, but it's just updated. You know what I'm saying? Lily Gamer, what's going on? I hope you're feeling well. How you doing, Lily Gamer? Get in there, you legend. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a good one. Lily Gamer, everyone. Let's get a hashtag legend in the live chat. Hopefully you're doing well, Lily. Good to see you. I hope you're resting up and getting well. Let's get some love hearts in there for Lily Gamer, who's recovering from an illness at the moment, guys, and is a long-time legend of this channel. Let's send us some well wishes. Get in there, Lily Gamer, you legend. Great to see you. Thank you very much for getting in this stream tonight. Hopefully you're all good. The Fortress is the best name. That's pretty nice. Red Devil District, Theatre of Dreams. That is quite cool, actually. Obviously, that's a nickname for Old Trafford. We could just call the stadium the Theatre of Dreams. I would like that. The Beckham Ground, is that serious, Simon? You what? The new Old Trafford. I mean, you know, it sounds silly, but, you know, it kind of seems right. Lots of legends in here for Liddy. Yeah, lots of people saying legend for Liddy there. Great stuff. Okay then, peeps. Well, I'm pretty much going to wrap up this sucker of a stream here. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, all of you legends, for watching this stream and getting in here. Really do appreciate it, guys. It's 11:30 now. Pretty late. We'll be back on tomorrow with another cheeky update for you lads and lasses in regards to the news. Thank you all for watching and getting involved and having your say and having the Q&A with me at the end here. It's been an absolute great chat. Thank you, Arcadians. It's great stuff, Flying Pig and chat. Yeah, great chat, guys. The Duncan Edwards Arena. Love it, Bristolian Macam. Love it. Just Old Trafford. Old Trafford makes sense. Cece says Old Trafford 2.0. Call it Stretford Park, says Ryan. See a lot of people on Twitter criticising Onana. I think that's stupid as well, Patricio. He had a good first game. 7 likes away from 200. We still haven't got to 200, so hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. Drop a little like on this video, guys. You know it makes sense. Nice one. Qatar Airways Arena. I could see it. Thank you, Chocolate, as well. Chocolate Salty Balls getting in there raw. That sounded a bit messed up. Butter says the real question is, what is your studio name? Theatre of Pigs. It's called it's actually called The Sty. It's called The Sty. 200 likes, Red Pennies Nights. Yes, indeed. Get in there. Old Trafford, just restore it. Flying Old Trafford. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this stream. Smash that like button before you go. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the show. Get yourself clicking the bell icon for notifications as well. I don't think the emojis have gone massive, have they? I think that must just be on your end there, Kate Cadet, bro. Dunno, bro. The pigsty, exactly, the pigsty. Guys, that's it from me. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. All at Flying Pig United. Baby, we did it. Break out the red panties. We got 200 likes. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Drop a like on this video. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Kick, Twitch, and all those places at Flying Pig United. Links are in the description. Thank you all for watching and getting involved and having your say throughout the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. FJT, I'm just warning you, bud. I've had to time you out 3 times for repeating the same horrible spam. If you do it again, I'm going to ban you, mate. There you go. How'd you like them apples? FJT, sit down, lad. Calm down. What are you doing? We told you about this the other day. Don't be a melter. Don't be a melter. Right, anyway. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. You're a bunch of heroes. See you later on, folks. That's it from me. I'll see you soon. Cheers, Kate Cadet. Thank you, guys. Jonathan Jackson, Butters, everyone. Howard Garrix, Super Fat Frank, OP Dragon, all the mods like Rush Mano and the Kate Cadet and Berber and everyone. Sing Games, Hoopman, Vootinator, all the Dons and Donesses of this chat. Kate Cadet, thank you all for getting in here, guys. Thank you, every single one of you legends, for being a part of the show and having your say. That's going to be it from me. Take care, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll be back at it tomorrow in the afternoon with an update for you guys. So stay classy, and we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you all. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.